Year 3. I've been missing our science lessons with you, especially since we're about to start our new topic on light. Now, as you know, when we're together, I often ask you to have a chat to a friend about a question I ask you. Well, I can't do that at the moment, but you can have a chat with whoever's looking after you. So I have a question for you, which I'd like you to have a quick chat about, which is, where does light come from? If you take 2 or 3 minutes just to talk about that and then come back to me. And back to me, please. Hopefully you've come up with answers such as from torches, candles, fire, electric lights, car lights, computer screens, TV screens, your phone screen. There are lots and lots of light sources, but there are also some natural ones such as animals like glowworms and fireflies who actually have a light to attract a mate. Now, we're able to see objects because of light. What happens is the light is reflected off an object to our eye, which forms an image. And that image travels along something called the optic nerve to our brain. And our brain is the clever bit that interprets and says what the object is that we're seeing. Now, when we are drawing an example of this, we use something called a light diagram. And the light diagram would look like this. If I draw an object, which I thought I'd do a nice spring daffodil. You know I'm not good at drawing, but never mind. So we've got a lovely object. We've got a light source And we've got our eye. Now, the light comes from the light source to the object. So we represent this with a straight line, and off of the object to the eye, which we also represent as a straight line. So the light travels to the object, is reflected to the eye. The eye has an optic nerve which travels to the brain, and the brain, or perhaps we could do a light bulb, says, I know what that is. It is a daffodil, or it is whatever the object is. So, when you draw a light diagram, it's very important that you don't accidentally draw the arrows going the wrong way. Because if you did that, if we look back here, if the arrow was travelling that way, we would be saying the light comes from the eye to the object to the sun, which of course it doesn't. So it's really important to remember to draw your light diagrams with the arrow in the right direction. Now, I'm going to ask you to do a few tasks at home. Just some little scientific exploring tasks, which should be easy for you to do. And if we have a look over here, I've got them written down. The first one is this. It's the shiny coin problem. A coin is lost. What would be the best way to find it? Turn out the lights and see if it shines, or use a torch to see it reflect. I'd like you to try that and find out the answer as to which is the best way to see the coin. Secondly, I would like you to see if you can find out, how does the distance from a light source affect how bright it looks? You could use a light source such as a torch or the light from your phone, and I'd like you to see how the distance affects what the light source looks like, how bright it is. And thirdly, how does being in the darkness affect your sense of hearing? And is this how nocturnal animals survive? So maybe you could try being in the darkness, putting yourself in a dark room and seeing if your hearing seems to change in any way. And then maybe from what you find out, you could think about whether that has anything to do with nocturnal animals and how they survive. Remembering nocturnal means animals that come out basically and live their lives at night. Brilliant. Okay, if you could send in anything that you find out, maybe in photographs or written work, into our site clapfordhomelearning@gmail.com. That would be brilliant, and I'll have a look and I'll enjoy seeing what you've done and what you found out. And last of all, can I remind you, I'd love you to be working on your white books about light, and also to be going on BBC Bite Size Key Stage 2 Light, where you can do the reading, don't forget the reading, the games and the videos. Enjoy your science year 3 and keep safe.